Hello, welcome. This is the Resident Evil 8 showcase stream thingy. Never watched a Resident Evil stream showcase thingy before, but there we go. I've played, before this starts, I've played the majority of the mainline Resident Evil games and some of the spin-offs. I've played a number of Resident Evil games anyway. I did really enjoy Resident Evil 7. That was possibly my second favourite Resident Evil game. Usually I wouldn't do these type of reactionary videos. They're not really my kind of thing. But there we are. I figured I've got nothing going on right now. I've got a couple of challenge runs in the works. Resident Evil 3 remake wasn't that great. It was kind of short and over pretty quickly. It was nowhere near as good as Resident Evil 2 remake, which is possibly my favourite Resident Evil game, maybe my second favourite. It's a toss-up between Resident Evil 2 remake and Resident Evil 7. Resident Evil 8 I'm looking forward to. Some people think it's going to be Resident Evil Revelations 3, but we shall see. So the Resident Evil 8's the village. Now I don't know too much about it except for there's werewolves apparently and vampires. And everybody at the moment has been going on about this really tall lady.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us today and welcome to our Resident Evil Showcase. I'm your host, Brittany Brombacher, here to give you a closer look into what Capcom has coming up for the Resident Evil franchise. We'll be kicking things off with some brand new content and an exclusive first look at Resident Evil Village gameplay that you do not want to miss. So without further ado, let's get started.
Hey now, think positively, alright? We talked about this.
So
I know. We hardly talk about anything else.
a lot of people wanted Ethan to return, and honestly I think Ethan's actually the best character from the franchise at the moment. It's a bit weird that they're working on Resident Evil 8 and Resident Evil 4 at the same time, because they're both largely village. They both largely feature villages.
I regret to inform you that Ethan Winters has escaped that fool.
So you do play as, it's basically a sequel to Resident Evil 7. That's good.
He is in my castle and has already proven too much for my daughters to handle.
Blimey.
I find him.
I hope someone says that about me one day.
No. Never Miranda.
They won't, but...
Yes, of course. I understand you.
So yeah, so this, I don't know what the deal is with this tall woman, or who she is, or what her name is. It looks like they're going for some sort of religious motif. Like a nun type deal.
Can someone please tell me what the hell is going on here?
No. The place is full of nothing but blood and death.
Is that, is it Myra? It's another first-person game. I'm fine with that. I enjoyed the Resident Evil 7 in the first person. I know some people didn't, but... Oh, spooky. So yeah, they've got like a... I don't know what her deal is. They've got some vampires and sickles by the looks of it. But I imagined it was more like a religious setting. With like a nunnery.
Well, Ethan Winters.
But yeah, apparently she's absolutely massive. And from what I've heard, a lot of people believe she's going to be like Tyrant was in Resident Evil 2, where you just hear the footsteps coming.
Who the fuck are you?
Blimey.
Let's see what you're really made of. Ethan Winters.
So I guess at the end of Resident Evil 7, obviously...
That was amazing, but I still have so many questions. Like, when can I pre-order this thing?
Yeah, because that's a great
Mr.
idea.
Pete Fabiano has a answers for us. Let's see what he has to say.
Hey everyone, I'm Pete Fabiano, producer on Resident Evil Village. When we first announced Resident Evil Village back in June, we only mentioned PlayStation 5.
Please don't be
Xbox
Epic
Series
Store.
X.
Please don't be Epic Store.
I'm happy to announce we've been working hard to bring the survival horror experience onto current generation consoles as well. Resident Evil Village will also be coming to PlayStation 4 and Xbox
Oh, thank God for
day
that.
and date with next gen.
Thank fuck for
The PS4
that.
version can be upgraded for free to the digital PS5 version. And the Xbox One version gives you
That's the
free
problem
access
these
to the
days.
game on
Every
Xbox
single
One
release,
through
I'm just like
It's also
holding my
recommended
breath, clenching my
to
toes,
download
hoping that when it says PC, it means Steam and not
Resident Evil
fucking
Village will be available
Xbox.
worldwide
Xbox, not
on
Xbox.
May 7th,
Epic
2021,
Games.
with pre-orders kicking off
Because I was gonna buy a load of games
alongside
last
the
year.
Ultimate Edition, we have
Every single
pre-orders
game that came out, I was interested in, went
we
straight
have
to the
digital deluxe
Epic Store.
available on all platforms.
So I've got to wait a year
Players will be
for
able
those.
to heighten their survival horror experience with extra content, including in-game items that call back to Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. There's also a collector's edition for consoles that includes all the deluxe edition content, as well as a striking figure of Chris Redfield, a steelbook case, poster, and art book. And for those of you who haven't played the previous entry, we have the Resident Evil Village and Resident Evil 7 Biohazard bundle.
I wonder how much that's going to
This lets
cost.
you get your hands on the award-winning RE7 while you wait for Resident Evil Village. Pre-order any of these editions, and you'll be able to get your hands on both the Mr. Raccoon weapon accessory and their survival resource pack, which will offer additional support
I mean, this is
during
just
the first few hours
kind of
gameplay.
tat for the
Finally,
people that
digital
care,
pre-orders for
I
the
suppose.
PlayStation
I've never really bought
exclusive
a special
Resident
edition of a
Evil Village
game,
mini soundtrack.
mostly because it's like it's just a ton of plastic crap.
All right, I've been waiting.
I mean, if
this.
you're
I know
interested in that
you've
thing,
been
you're
waiting
interested
for
in it,
this.
and that's
It's
fine.
time for the world premiere first look at Resident Evil Village gameplay. Alongside this first look, we have Pete Fabiano back to offer some insights as well. Let's take a look.
Now we're here to give you an exclusive first look at Resident Evil Village gameplay. Just like in Resident Evil 7 Biohazard,
Fuck's sake.
you'll make your way from the village to the castle. Players will need to get in and search for their kidnapped daughter.
So I assume
As
this,
you've
this
noticed by
probably
now,
takes place
Resident Evil Village keeps the first-person perspective.
a considerable
Because
time
it really
after
draws players into the detailed world we've created.
after the last game, considering he's got a daughter now. So I guess he got Mia back, and then made intercourse with her, and they had a child. Unless they already had a child and it was just never brought up, and it's been retconned in that he had a child all along, which would be a bit weird because
You'll see a lot
who did he
of
leave his
little
daughter
details
with if
come
he
to
just
life
went,
here.
you know, driving off to Louisiana or wherever the previous game took place in, one of the southern states.
The team put a ton of effort into creating a true
I like the golden or the wall details. That's pretty cool.
art design to technology. Everything ties in great and creates some beautiful visuals.
So-
Now it's time to meet some of the castle denizens. As you'd expect, a warm welcome's not really what's in store for Ethan.
So I've got a feeling this type of character is going to be entirely in scripted sequences. It's not.
Man blood.
That's just bizarre.
Now, let's take a look at him. Well, Ethan Winters. You escaped my...
She is a fucking giant. Jesus Christ.
Let's see how special you
So yeah, you're looking for your daughter for some reason.
Shifting gears a bit, we're finally going to show off some combat.
I mean, I imagine it's very much going to be the same as Resident Evil 7. There may be a dodge mechanic in this one, but I very much doubt there's going to be any real
It's not
difference.
just about shooting. Guarding will also be an important part
Yeah,
of
I mean, that was the same Resident Evil 7, so... Okay, you can push them away this time, and apparently teleport and change to a shotgun.
Each type of enemy has their own distinct way of fighting, so you'll need to change up your strategy to defeat them.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty standard fare.
Everyone knows what to do with red barrels, right?
Wow, that was a complete waste. That was a complete waste.
Some remember a similar management system in Resident Evil 4.
Oh,
This time around, we've added crafting, which
oh
allows
God.
you to create items such as
Then again, crafting was in the last few games, I suppose. When I hear crafting in games, I just kind of die a little inside, but they did have ammo crafting, and I mean, even since the first game, there's medical crafting. But I guess a lot of people. Jesus, when did I get put in the game?
Anyone has heard of the likes of you.
So he's obviously, yeah, I was going to say he's
This
obviously.
time he's known as the Duke. You'll be going to him to buy and sell weapons.
So it's like a combination of Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 7, basically.
A unique look, and you'll often find him in different situations each time you encounter him.
Damn, he's
He's an
massive.
interesting fella.
Look at the absolute size of that lad. What a unit. So yeah, it's the same.
Smash away with your trusty knife. There's plenty of items to find in your travels.
So I want to know if diamonds and jewels make a return, like in 4 and 5.
Wait, do you hear that?
Nope.
And we've also got
Some
extra
prick is
weapons
talking
outside
over it.
the main.
Okay, so you got to shoot goats this time.
Of course, it goes without saying that there'll be plenty of puzzles to solve for players to move forward. Oh, and
Oh
plenty
Jesus,
of surprises
that
to
looked
keep you on
good.
your toes.
So yeah, like I said, I've got a large feeling that those bugs, vampire women, will be, you know, largely scripted events only.
I haven't cut open a man in a while.
Jesus.
Slice your jugular and just watch.
So I'm going to assume fire is probably going to be their weakness. You're probably going to get some sort of, or an SMG,
That's one way to end the video.
a flamethrower or an SMG at some point, because it's basically just Margaret from 7, except it's like bats and stuff and wasps. I actually missed what he was talking about there, so I apologise.
Demo. Players won't be playing as
Oh,
but as a character we're referring to as the Maiden.
okay. Is this going to be
Unlike the
Mia?
actual game, this experience doesn't feature combat or even blocking.
Okay, so yeah, it's like the what's her name? The sections in Resident Evil 4. Ashley, where you can't attack, you can't block.
We're hoping to have players get a real feel for the visual.
But
and audio
visually, is it an audio?
on her journey.
Audially, I don't know how you would say that. Visually, it looks really
Download
good.
the exclusive demo on PlayStation 5 today.
Ah,
Of course, we want as many people as possible to get a chance to play.
so that's why you
We'll have a
restrict.
separate new demo available on all platforms.
That's why you restricted it to PlayStation 5. Nice one.
This year marks the 25th anniversary of the Resident Evil franchise, with the very first game releasing in Japan back on March 22nd,
Jesus.
1996. Since then, the series has expanded well beyond the realm of video games. From toys and board games, to CG movies, to live-action Hollywood films, Resident Evil has become a cultural icon. Resident Evil continues to offer surprises around every corner, so let's pass it along to producer Tsuyoshi Kanda to hear more about what you can expect in 2021.
Earlier this month, we started inviting players to join a closed beta test. The test won't happen until later next week, but I want to use this chance to reveal more details. With the 25th anniversary of Resident Evil coming on March 22nd, we are excited to celebrate this milestone with our fans. Last September, we showed off a piece of key art showcasing some of Resident Evil's iconic characters to start the celebration. Now, I'm happy to announce what was behind that. Let's take a look.
Is that a Resident Evil 2 police station? Wow, that run animation looks bad. Oh, it's not going to be that shitty online mode, is it? It's going to be that shitty online mode, isn't it? Nobody gives a shit about that. Like, I got the free version with RE3 remake, and I haven't even loaded it up.
REverse is one of the ways we're celebrating the 25th anniversary of the franchise, showcasing so many of the characters that fans love. It'll be available for
like that fat goo monster.
Purchases Resident Evil Village, so be sure to follow the Resident Evil social channels for the latest news. And check out the official website for even more details.
So it's basically a third person, or well, presumably a third person Smash featuring Resident Evil characters.
Congratulations to the Resident Evil team on their 25th anniversary. We can't wait to get our hands on our reverse. For the occasion, we are bringing the celebration to our game, Tom Clancy's The Division 2. For a limited time, you will be able to collect some of the iconic outfits and items from the original...
Who even cares about The Division?
Everyone that logs in during the event will get Lean Kennedy's Raccoon Police Department outfit as a warm-up. Now let's have a look at some of these.
I mean, I like crossovers in games. Valve used to do it a ton. Unfortunately, they don't really do it anymore. But they used to do it all the time for Team Fortress 2. Again, I don't really care about The Division. I remember seeing, years back, I went to a Gamescom and I saw The Division being showcased. I don't know if showcased is too grandiose a term, but I saw it being shown off there. And it was interesting. Well, it looked interesting. And then I played the demo. And God, I was bored after like 30 minutes. Are they really the fan favourites? I don't care then. I mean, most of the Resident Evil films.
A lot's been happening, and I hope you enjoyed watching.
Was that it?
But if you missed anything along the way, don't worry. Keep an eye on the Resident Evil social channel
and
official website, which will be sharing everything from today's show. As a quick reminder, Resident Evil Village is available for pre-order.
Okay, I was kind of expecting more than that. I was kind of expecting, I don't know, a sneak peek at, you know, like a teaser trailer for Resident Evil 4 or something.
5 owners get a sneak peek through downloadable content available worldwide starting today. It has been an absolute honor to celebrate the amazing Resident Evil leading up to its 25th anniversary with all of you across the globe. I'm your host, Brittany Brombacher, and thank you so much for watching. Until next time.
Well, that was over quicker than I thought, to be perfectly honest. I was expecting it to last a little bit longer than that, but there we go, what have you. So yeah, it looks like it's on Steam, at least, so that's good. It looks kind of interesting, I guess, that they didn't show too much. I was kind of you know, expecting a little bit more, but I don't really watch too many of these showcases, so maybe that's my fault. Yeah, there's a fat guy, the merchant's back, the attache, the case, the weapons case is back, the inventory case, attache case I think it's called, I can't remember, it's been so long, I didn't really like Resident Evil 4 too much. But yeah, it looks like a mixture of Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 7. So that's interesting. The fat merchant, there's some tall women, which everyone's been talking about for quite some time. Yeah, I guess closer to I can't play the demo yet because I don't have a PS5. But closer to the time, we'll be sure to take a look at that as soon as possible. I don't think I've got too much else to say really. I mean, the online game mode looks kind of shit. I don't know who buys a Resident Evil game to play the online. I don't know why they keep putting online game modes into Resident Evil, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I think the only one that most people would say they'd want an online game mode for is Mercenaries, but even then, I've never played a Resident Evil game because it had online. I've always played it purely a single player. I'm purely a single player anyway. I usually only play it for the story, which again, Resident Evil stories are pretty much all the same, really. They're all kind of interchangeable. It's always go to place, go to lab, fight boss,